for our industries, and we are continuing to improve. Thank you. We will have a Q&A later on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bapak Dono. I would like to flag to the audience that the presentation that we have here will be readily available. So please provide us with your email address so that we can send the presentation for those who are interested. So due to time constraint, I think it doesn't do justice what was presented by Bapak Dono to the audience. There were a lot of figures here inside the presentation, which would be an eye-opener for us here. And so what we are proposing right now is try to get in the presentations as concise as possible, leaving room for discussions. But if those who are interested in finding out more in detail, we have the presentations ready to be sent to you.
You can always email me.
Yes, and also that as well. So thank you so much, Bapak Dono, for the topic of palm oil sector contribution for sustainable energy development, crosses into the economic domain as well as our Indonesia's goal to achieving the SDGs. The next presenter I have on the list would be Ibu Kanya Lakshmi Siddhartha. She is Secretary General of the Indonesian Palm Oil Association from April 2018 to now. Previously, she served as General Treasurer from 2015 to 2018 of the association. She has more than 10 years of experience in the palm oil business as advisor to various groups, palm oil plantation of Synergy Group, advisor to the Tiga Pilar Sejahtera, as independent director of PT Golden Plantation, senior vice president of PT Bakri Sumatra Plantations, handling commercial palm oil, downstream business, investor relations, and corporate finance for palm oil and rubber business. She has also more than 10 years experience in capital market Indonesia, in operating securities company, fund management, custodian bank, and as CEO of IDX Channel, Capital Market Television. She is also active in training and lecture many courses and workshops in Indonesia regarding the capital market issue. Ms. Kanya Lakshmi Siddhartha graduated from the University of Indonesia as an accountant and earned a Magister Management degree from the Bogor Agricultural University. Without further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you all. So, do you mind if I stand up? Because it's easier for me to speak with you. So I just a brief update about what is the palm oil industry in Indonesia. So because our colleagues, my minister is already mentioned about the palm oil, but let me just give you maybe someone from you that you know what is the palm oil. This is a tree, so we call it this oil palm. Yeah, oil palm is a tree. So when they are all in the plain area in the certain area, so we manage it as a plantation. So this is the figures of the tree on the bottom side. And if you look at from the upside, so there is a tree. So yeah, we may call it, this is also as a forest. Yeah. So what is the oil palm plantation? Oil palm tree can only be planted in the tropical area. So it will only planted to the north is about 12 degrees and to the south about 12 degrees. So look at who is the which country crossing this equator. So there's Indonesia, and to the west is Africa, and to the east from Indonesia is American. So there is the only potential land for planting palm oil. This is Indonesia. Indonesia is a big country, more or less the same as the American area from the west to the east. And we have a lot of people there. And yeah, we are on the tropical area. This is palm oil. Palm oil is a vegetable oil, yeah, derived from the mesocarp of the fruit crop from oil palm tree. So the name is Elias genesis. So palm oil is commonly known as a cooking oil, yeah. But somebody is talking that the palm oil is a cooking oil from the tropical area. Around belt of Africa, Southeast Asia, and part of Brazil. Palm oil color is naturally reddish. Because of high beta-carotene content, palm oil does not contain cholesterol, and palm oil industry now become buoyant by its competitive prices, especially in the commercial food industry. So maybe this a bit development in Indonesia, where the plantation coming from. So originally the plantation is supported by the government, where the tree is being known in Indonesia actually since 1848. So after the 70s, yeah, so government of Indonesia thinking of developing this palm oil tree through the smallholders. Because of the attractiveness of the oil palm plantation, so smallholders is also trying to plant this tree. So as long as they are all being all together on the same area, so it's also the same what the government or the corporation doing the management of managing the plantation. So this is the beginning when the palm oil plantation starting in Indonesia and until now is being big and big because of the attractiveness of the yield what the process from the tree. Okay. Palm oil, we call it as an industry because it is start from the upstream to the downstream, because the first production from the tree is a fruit. When the fruit is being processed, you can have it the oil. So what we know more, maybe knowing that palm oil is oil, yeah, because what we have from the fruit is processing to become an oil. So what we know is CPO, crude palm oil, and also palm kernel oil. Palm kernel oil, we know it as the lauric oil. So palm oil, CPO can be processed is more for food. But currently the lauric also can produce for food and non-food. What you use it as a cosmetic as well. So currently what we have from the palm oil is also possible to process as a source of energy. That is the biodiesel, where is currently common use. But further, because of the research, palm oil is also can be used as a green gasoline. Okay, that is tree, oil palm tree can be stand up, I mean as a tree, is for 30 years. Since it is planted in the ground, so after the 5th year, it can be produce fruit until died on the 30 years of the tree. So how attractive is the tree? Because it can be produced very long years after the year of 30. So can you imagine that this tree can produce for that long? Comparing to the other vegetable oil, let's say soya. Soya can only be planted 3 times a year, right? So in I don't know, in the winter, of course, the soya plantation cannot be produced because of the weather. This is the maybe such a very big difference, because palm oil tree, oil palm tree, okay, oil palm tree can be planted until 30 years, and the other vegetable oil is only less than 1 year. That is the different side why the yield of the palm oil and the other vegetable oil is so much different. Okay, so Palm oil product, as I mentioned to you, is also can produce for CPO, CPKO, cooking oil, food application product, consumer product, and also for biofuel. This is what is happening in Indonesia, who is planting the oil palm. So the green, the yellow or the orange color, that is the private companies. So the gray one, that is the corporate, the companies owned by the government. So they are the blue side. The blue side is the smallholders. And you can see, it is quite big, this one. 40% of the plantation area in Indonesia, it belongs to the smallholders. Now we as a big corporation, they are small, maybe the biggest area for each of the people is around 2 hectares. Yeah? So the total plantation in Indonesia currently is about 14 million hectares. So the 40% itself is the smallholders. So as Pak Dono mentioned, that we are very concerned about the people. Okay? This is the industry profile. That the palm oil plantation can produce not only the crude itself is only 20%. So the rest are refined, which is the crude palm oil being processed. So 70% of all the production of palm oil from Indonesia is being exported. So we use it in Indonesia is only about 20-25%. So they are all being refined. This is a condition between production and export of palm oil from Indonesia. So we have stages from 2008 until 2018. On the 2008, our production is about 19 million tons. So by 2018, this is by November this year, so our production is about 47 million tons. So what we export, by 2008, we can export 15 million. So now we exported 32 million tons. So most of our production is being exported. So this is our value of our export. Close to about 23 billion US dollar. It's a big money. So because of the price, our prediction for this year, export value, it could be around 21 billion. More or less the same, is more than 20 billion US dollar. This is our export destination. To US, actually, the volume is about 1.2 million tons. So the biggest export destination is to India. So, and the second is to European, to China, and Africa, Pakistan, Middle East, and Bangladesh. So let's see about what we export to all of these countries. More are processed oil. So, big portion of the being exported is not the crude. What we export of the crude is only 20%, and the rest are the processed oil. This is the figures of, if you talk about between Indonesia and USA, this is actually the real, what we call it as code, HS code. So the split of the product being exported to US since 2016 and 2018, more or less the volume, slightly dropped a bit. On the 2016, the total amount is about 1.3 million ton, and the value is about less than 1 billion US dollar, and currently dropped about 1.1 million ton, and the value because of the price is even less than 800 million US dollar. So this is the biggest of our transaction between Indonesia and US. This is the performance, how palm oil support our trade balance in Indonesia. Actually, mostly Indonesia expecting the result of trade is from the oil and gas. But since the palm oil perform, the export volume and the trade balance is so, make the positive balance on the trade balance. If Indonesia doesn't have the palm oil, look at the trend. Maybe Indonesia, not maybe, yes, we are deficit. So this is why palm oil is so much important for Indonesia. This is comparison between palm oil and the other vegetable oils. This is the development happened in the 20 years. On the 1992-97, the total production of vegetable oil is around 102 million tons. So palm oil portion is about 16%. And now, another 20 years later, the total production is increasing to reach about 226 million tons for the whole vegetable oil. And what portion in the palm oil? Yes, it increased to be 31% portion compared to the other vegetable oil. This is the reality. Why it improves so much? Because of its productivity, because of the efficiency of the yield production of the palm oil production. So this is the biggest, the gain comes from this comparison. So this is the demand of vegetable oil. People need food, right? So any increase of the population need food. So let's see, by 2050, the population and the production of palm oil about 200 million tons. So predicted by the LMC International, by the 2025, we need about 200